we're going to give it a few minutes for people to filter in and for me to decompress. I just got off work. This is going to take a hot minute. So if you're watching the VOD on YouTube, feel free to scroll. Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to say. All right, I think we've waited long enough. Ow woo, friends and enemies. Hello. All right, we are about to begin the second Friday. So my ongoing theory is that Hi, Gizia. So my ongoing theory is that someone might have triggered our four main characters seeing Mamiya. I think that someone is deeply connected with Suo Kato's story. So I'm willing to bet the ends that we'll probably get from completing the tips stories will be false endings, each getting weirder and weirder until we get to Suo Kato's, and Suo Kato's is going to reveal a piece of information about Mamiya, and then we're going to have to go back to the end of chapter 3 and select that we are going to rush to the end. I think that's what's going to wind up happening, but I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and start. You took your time. Kikuchi Ryo looked up at me. They were all chatting around a table. Sorry, I had some business that dragged on a bit. Making a wry grin, I went and sat on a chair I brought over from a nearby table. Hey, Suo, show this to Tojo. Tojo, Morichika wants you to have this. Why didn't you give it to me directly? Since when were you all on good terms? Just the other day we went shopping together. Morichika said he needed some bike parts, and Suo insisted on tagging along. I was kind of forced into joining them, and Ryo happened to be free too. I guess that explains it. I felt kind of left out. We wanted you to come, but we couldn't really get a hold of you. Sorry about that. Well, it made sense. I wasn't in their story all the time. Kind of made me think I should have logged in more often, like into some online game. Actually, never mind. That was an awful comparison to make. The fact that I had a place to return to made it feel less real, but to them, this was reality, their whole world. I needed to keep that in mind to avoid becoming just another unfeeling spectator. You listening to me, Tojo? Oh, hold on. What was my voice from Morichika Haruki? You listening to me, Tojo? Yes, I am. Anyway, what's on the agenda for today, Natsume? You sure as hell ain't listening. Oh, right. Let's see. We still need to decide what to put in Natsume's coffin. We had some ideas last time, but couldn't actually decide on anything. So Kato heaved a sigh while eyeing my notes. Natsume's already been cremated, right? Yes, all that's left is the burial. So it doesn't have to be non-flammable. Anything goes, then. Why not just put lots of stuff he'd like? You can't just do that. Kind of doubt that's what he'd want. What does he want, then? Oh, it's Haruki. What does he want, then? Why did he choose us? If he wanted things he liked, he could have just asked his family. Why didn't he do that? Because he likes you. Huh? Where did that come from, Natsume? Morichika and Tojo made strained grins. It seemed very much like a chill had just gone down their backs. Natsume, he liked you as friends. That's probably why he wants some memorabilia from you. Memorabilia? Maybe that's not the right word for it. I think he's looking for something you guys would want him to have. All I could muster was a shoddy at best explanation, to which they all fell silent. Does anything come to mind? Something you'd want to give him? You know, something to bury with him? I'm not sure. Anything at all, Tojo? Huh? Me? Well, I guess I do have something. What is it? I don't have to say it now, do I? It's kinda embarrassing. It's what we're talking about, though. Well, yeah, that's true. How about you, Morichika? I got nothing. Come on, that's no good either. What about you? Does anything come to mind? Oh, plenty of things. I've made tons of memories with him. I remember us dancing while copying moves we saw on TV, playing a version of Old and Maid we created ourselves, singing nursery rhymes. I could go on. I bet you could. I'm kind of impressed. None of those things are objects, right? You can't put them in a coffin, right, Rio? Rio, let's keep this up and fill Natsumi's surroundings with wonderful things. Well, I suppose you're pretty good at stuff like that. Hey, Natsume. What's the point of all this? Huh? These little discussions never go anywhere. No one says what they think, and now they're talking about things that aren't even objects. Nothing's coming out of this at all. I'd say there's a problem with the whole premise here, don't you think? Come on, Morichika, don't be like that. Natsume's trying his best. So wasting people's time is cool, so long as you try your best. Okay, fine, I'll come up with something helpful. You don't even want to say it. We won't force you. Rio. Come on, let's talk some more. I'm sure we'll have some good ideas soon. Not everyone has made as many memories as you did. But Natsume's burial is in 2 weeks. There's nothing to talk about. We'll just gather them. Is everyone fine with that? Sure, works for me. But... Sorry, Natsume, I think we need more time. Let's go, Minato. Rio, are you busy now? Huh? Oh, it's the little sister. Midori. Before everyone could leave, we were interrupted by a little girl in a green raincoat. It was Gukichi Midori, Ryo's sister. Hey, Midori, what's up? I can't find Taro. Taro? Yeah, I was with him all the time, but he disappeared. He was hurt too. I'm so worried. Any idea where he could be, Rio? Rio. Taru. First I've heard of that. Big shocker for old big bro here, huh? It probably got hauled off by... Oh! Don't say that in front of Midori. Hey, Rio. Sorry, but as you can see, I need to go. So Kaito grabbed Kikuchi Ryo's hand before he could walk out of the donut shop. Please wait. I can't ignore someone in need. Midori, let me help. Kaito, you do that for me? Me too. I'd grow through fire and ice for you. Thank you, Minato. The hell, are you all nuts? It's damn cold out, too. Despite his grumbling, Morichika grabbed his bike keys and was clearly planning to join the search, too. Alright, let's go find Taro. Who is this, by the way? Me? I'm Natsume. Taro! I don't think it'll be that easy. But if it's really hurt, it can't have gone too far, right? Midori, can you tell us more about Taro? Taro's brown, fluffy, spotted, and hurt in the right leg. Spotted and brown, huh? It seems so common. He's hurt, so I tied a yellow handkerchief on him. That would explain why I haven't seen it in a while. Kikuchi Ryo, who was no doubt in charge of laundry at their household, let out a dejected sigh. If it's got a yellow handkerchief on its leg, we should be able to recognize it right away. Do we split up? Good thinking. Ryo, you go with Midori, and... Hold it. You're gonna make me go with this huge guy and the weirdo? Huh? Hey, I also want to look for Taro with Ryo or Midori, not Morichika. Midori's with me. Alright, let's play a round of rock, paper, scissors. That'll decide it. The Kikuchi siblings are 2-1. The one who wins goes with them. The losers will be the other group. Alright, I'll win and go with Ryo. Midori, I'll make sure to win, so cheer for me, okay? Hey, Tojo, let's do paper. Huge guy, you do scissors. Sound good? No, it doesn't. Hey, no cheating. I won't lose, Tojo. Don't get mad when I win. Let's go. Rock, paper. So... yeah. It looks like nobody got the pairing they wanted. Haruki wanted to go with Minato and Kaito with Ryo. Yeah. Well, to be fair, Haruki... Sorry, Haruki... Haruki Morichika. There we go, I said it right. Haruki knows Minato best. Why did I win? You're still complaining? Just look for Taro, okay? Huh? I am, damn it. You're just looking around. That's not how you search for things. Look, I'm helping out your sister. Some appreciation wouldn't hurt. What? You want a piece of me, pretty boy? Ryo, Haruki, shut up! I wonder how they're doing. Forget them. We gotta find Taro. Don't worry, Tojo. Natsumi's a private detective. He's good at finding things. Huh? Alright, I do take jobs like this quite often. How do you usually handle them? I use bait to lure them out. I see, and then? I use a tracking dog to sniff them out. Wow, and where's the dog now? I don't have it with me now. Oh, anything else? Just look around? That's pretty normal. Sure is. Let's just keep looking. Haruki, come here. Sure. Why is she calling me instead of her brother anyway? Well, Midori tends to be nice to weaklings. What's that supposed to mean? Exactly what I said. Haruki. Wait for me, Midori. I'm coming too. You can stay there. Huh? Hear that? Shh. So, what's up? Look! Huh? A red clover, but it's December, so what's it doing here? You can have it. I thought it'd be perfect for you. Is that why you called me over? I've wanted you to see this ever since I met you. Oh, thanks.
Take good care of it, okay?
Mm-hmm. What did you do, Midori?
Not telling.
Oh, come on. I'd never touch a brat like her, you dumbass. There's mud on your knee. I have wet tissues. Give me a second to wipe it off. There. All good.
Let's go there next.
You really are her older brother, huh? Yeah. She important to you? Is that even a question? I'm her brother. Of course she's important to me. Huh? That's so.
Sorry, may I go to the bathroom? Sure, we'll wait here.
Taru sure is hard to find.
But giving up here isn't going to get us anywhere. It's all about positive thinking.
You're pretty weird, Suo.
Huh?
You're so honest and straightforward about everything. I just thought that was pretty amazing.
It is?
Yeah, just today, remember how you opened up about your memories with Natsumi? I could never do something like that. Heck, I'd probably be too embarrassed to even open my mouth. So you're a shy type, huh? I guess so, compared to you at least. Are you also embarrassed right now, even though we're alone? See, this is exactly what I've been talking about. You really are amazing. I only remember Natsumi's face. His face? It's why I didn't want to say it. It'd make me look like the kind of person who judges people based on appearances. He always looked at me and me alone with those sparkling eyes of his. It was kind of embarrassing, but it made me happy too, so I always tried to do my best to reciprocate. Sorry I can't name any specific memories like you did.
I see. So that's how it was between the two of you.
Yeah.
What is it?
I might be the shy type too.
Huh?
Why? Talking to you makes me feel like I'm chatting with an older girl. I'm sorry, that was a weird thing to say. It's fine. Sorry for the wait, guys. Shall we go? Oh, you brought drinks. Thank you. Here's your Suo.
Thank you.
I see, so that's what he thought. We then searched every bush and looked under every car, but... any luck? None. We also went around most places where you could find a dog. A dog? Huh? Wait, do you mean Taro's not a cat? What are you talking about? Taro's a dog, right, Midori?
Ah! Taru!
Huh? Kikuchi Midori ran to a bench and...
Taru, I'm so glad you're okay. Did you eat enough? Are you okay by yourself? That's great.
Taro's... a sparrow? The five of us just stood there watching absent-mindedly as the heartwarming scene unfolded before us. Well, at least Taro's been found, that's all that matters. Sighing, I looked up at the sky. The sun had already dipped below the horizon. We didn't have any more discussions for the day, but thanks to Kikuchi and Midori, we at least didn't part on a sour note. Right, I'll be off then. Hey. Huh? What? Sorry for dragging you into this. It's fine, I had nothing going on anyway. Oh?
Man, I had no idea Taro was actually a sparrow. All this time, I thought he was a dog. Same here. Maybe because I used to have a dog myself. Oh, Yutsu? Guessing you're a dog person then? Oh, absolutely. I used to have this golden retriever and...
What did we have here? Could you all please gather next week too? I don't think we need to force ourselves to talk about what to bury with Natsume, but
I want to know his friends better. Sorry, I know it has nothing to do with his note. It's just what I want myself. I don't think you guys are obligated to fulfill Natsumi's wish, but if you don't mind, Geez, Natsumi, you sure are helpless. What? Well, if you insist, I suppose we could look into taking on other shifts. Besides, you help Midori, it's the least I can do. They just had to go and make it hard to refuse. Guys, let's meet up next Friday and have fun as friends. I've managed to get them to meet up next week too. Go me. Now it was a matter of choosing who to observe. I'm curious about... Here we go. Yeah, they're friends now. That is true. Kikuchi Ryo, Toji Minato, Morishika Haruki, and Suo Kato. Let's start with Kikuchi Ryo. I chose to observe Kikuchi Ryo. Thus I began looking around for him, eventually finding myself in an alley. Huh? Isn't that him? What's he doing here? Just as I was about to call out, a man standing next to Ryo swung his fist at him. Before I even had the chance to yell a warning, he ducked out of the way and delivered a kick that sent the man staggering backwards. Huh? As the man fell, he followed it up with an intense elbow strike to his face. I was so dumbfounded that I could do nothing but watch as Kikuchi Ryo swept the sand off of him. He took mere seconds to beat up a guy twice his size. As he sighed and prepared to leave, he noticed me staring at him. Oh. Even from a distance, I could tell that our eyes had met. His were extremely hurt. Wait, well, there he goes. Okay. Come on, let's do karaoke today. Oh, but we went there yesterday. Go by yourself. Whoa. Oh, sorry. It's fine. What the hell? That was creepy. I have no shift today. I guess I'll go to the supermarket or something. Hey, what's with that guy? Not the one in the trench coat? Maybe he's a detective. That'd be way too cliched. Trench coat. He's here for Minato, not me. I'll just go. Oh, Kikuchi! When I wave my hands at him, Kikuchi Ryo froze up. What does he want with Kikuchi? Now that I look at him, he seems kind of shady too. What's with all the noise? What do you want? Huh? I just thought I'd come and see you. I move my fangs away, make the people around us raise shrill voices for some reason. Just come with me. He grabbed me by the arm and dragged me away from the school gate. Is this about yesterday? What do you mean? I mean, weren't you disappointed in me? I ended up resorting to violence back there. Oh no, that's not it. I figured I would start seeing you off to school from now on, and then pick you up as well, of course. Eh? You get attacked because you're alone, but I'm an adult. With me around, it will be harder for people to get at you. Are you a dumbass? Huh? I thought it was a pretty good plan. A lanky guy like you would just get snapped in half. Lanky? But I'm an adult. Do what we want. See? It worked. We were just lucky. You also get extra bargain goods when I'm here. That's true. As he fell silent, I put the toilet paper at the door with a broad smile, then turned around. Well, Kikuchi, bye-bye. Though he didn't look too happy, he still saw me off as I left the residential area. To me, Natsumi Suichiro, Kikuchi Ryo was like the protagonist of a story. You probably didn't remember it, but you've already saved me once. Kept quiet about it because you'd call it hypocrisy. But on that day you were so cool that I kept wanting to become like you. Spring. I, Natsumi Suichiro, had my money taken from me. Huh? What are you looking at? No matter what he was told, the young man didn't stop giving them a beast-like glare. Answer me when I'm talking to you. One of the men surrounding me raised his fist. Kikuchi dodged it with little to no effort, slipped the man's side, and punched him square in the jaw. Ah! Ah! The brilliance of the battle that followed was such that I, merely seated in place, felt as though the world had been sped up. His movements were graceful, agile, and nimble. As I did my best to follow each and every one of them, the dark-skinned youth was soon the only one left standing. Thank you so much. The next moment I felt a dreadful chill down my spine. The young man's intense, fiery gaze bore into me. He locked eyes for a second, then off he went. The last thing I remembered about the encounter was the flower petal that landed on my nose. I'm back. Midori. You're late, Ryo. Do you have any idea how long I've been waiting? I'm back. A wound? What happened? He was surprised for a moment, then slipped his hand behind him. Nothing. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. You didn't even fight yesterday, so why? Who cares? Anyway, there's another sale today. Eggs are for cheap. Come on. It was clear that he was avoiding the subject. Did you at least treat it? It might swell if you leave it like that. Was it caused by a blow, or did you sprain it? Jesus, get off my back. This is such a shoujo anime moment. Fair. Now that I think about it, that was. Yeah. Maybe, but if I don't know the cause, it's got nothing to do with you. There's nothing you can do. The bitter expression on his face seemed all too familiar. That's all the more reason not to ignore it. Don't say something so irresponsible. It's not like I'd have anywhere else to go. I mean, I could probably get by on my own just fine. But what about Midori? How can I support the both of us? Kikuchi, Ryo. There you are. I finally found you. We were suddenly faced with the men we avoided yesterday, along with a few others behind them. It ain't like you to run, Kikuchi. There's a certain someone that won't rest until we teach you a lesson, you know. Natsumi! His yell jolted me back to reality. Crap. I was left all alone and surrounded. Kikuchi Ryo was experienced enough to know the odds and instantly ran. He was already pretty far away. Feeling like I had to run, I tried to move, but then my vision distorted. Hey, Natsumi. My focus was off. My feet barely supported me. Ryo, run away, forget about me. I shouted as hard as I could. Before I could finish, someone smacked me in the back of the head and knocked me unconscious. Please. Please let Kikuchi Ryo escape. Let him find a path in life where he wouldn't have to resort to the violence he hated so much. It was cold. I woke up to the feeling of droplets touching my cheek. I was still half in a daze and could only see the ground. I once again felt a cold sensation on my nose. Looking up, I saw a man's hand ahead. There were several other men lying on the ground, and beyond the cold was Kikuchi Ryo standing all by himself. The first snowfall had arrived. My consciousness returned in an instant. My consciousness returned in an instant. There we go. Kikuchi Ryo, hadn't he escaped? The dry, ceaselessly falling snow made the fresh blood look all the more beautiful. Kikuchi Ryo. I called out to him as loudly as I could, and the leopard looked at me from beyond the veil of snow. Natsume. You seem okay. The closer I came, the stronger the scent of iron became. Why? There's blood. Blood. For this, I just cut my head. Don't worry about it. His words didn't reach me. I saw only red. The smell of blood had robbed me of all sense of reason. Hey, you're all pale. I was overcome by regret. It's my fault. You only came back because of me. You could have avoided them if I hadn't been there. Natsumi, that's... I said I would protect you, but look at me now. After all you've done for me, I'm still just... My voice rang out in the dry air. Meanwhile, the snow had yet to show any sign of letting up. Two injured men, both covered in blood, were just standing in place, doing nothing. I wanted to change. There was no point in having the body of an adult if you still retained the soul of a child. I wanted to close the gap between me and my body, even if only by a little bit. I wanted to become the kind of 23-year-old adult who could protect him. I woke up feeling different from normal. I wasn't sure if it was caused by the wounds, but my consciousness felt strangely clear. Anyway. Hey. Haven't seen you in a day. Are your wounds alright? Natsumi. Sorry I couldn't contact you. Anyway, let's go. Alright. Kuchiryo stopped in place, making me tilt my head in confusion. It's nothing. Did you go to school with that wound? It's fine, I sterilized it. The huffy look in his eyes made me feel like I was the only one taking this seriously. There was no way sterilizing it was enough. I had to. Treated myself. Treat you myself. Pulled out some bandages from my shopping bag. I'd brought them as replacements, but if he had none to begin with, he needed them right away. Made Kikuchi-ryo sit on a nearby bench, then kneeled before him and spread out the bandage. Keep still. He seemed discontent, but he didn't actually try to stop me from treating him. Here too. You're making such a big deal out of it. Well, I'm not gonna let these bandages get recycled into next year's Halloween props. They should be used as intended. It's what's best for both me and the bandages. Shh. Smiling at his awkward expression, I made him roll up his sleeve. He had an astonishing amount of scars covering his body. Hurry up. Huh? Oh, right. No everyday high school student had this many wounds. What kind of life was he leading? He hated violence, but was completely surrounded by it. He kept going for his sister's sake, though, even if no one understood him. That tickles. Bear with it. What a strong, proud, and lonely person. Once I was done treating all the wounds that stood out, I could feel the temperature within me drop. Natsumi, here I bandaged your wound. You can go now. But you... The young man was as sharp as you'd expect. He'd noticed. I'm alright. As if, look at how lanky you are. Let's split up then. That'll make them split up too. He probably believed they would target him. Come on, Midoriya's waiting for you. It was why I urged his line of thinking. Make some good food for her. You better show up tomorrow. When he lightly pulled at the collar of my trench coat, I simply smiled back at him. As I walked towards a silent, empty area, they followed right after. It was exactly what I wanted, for them to go after frail old me. I know who you are. They were members of the nameless masses, nothing more. I know where you work and where you live. Huh? Finding out their details was easy. It wasn't due to my role as a spectator, but rather the fact that I was a 23-year-old adult working as a detective. Don't underestimate adults. I felt my fingers become chilly. I noticed myself becoming awfully cold-hearted from time to time. Affected by my body, I felt the taste I hadn't known in life spreading in my mouth. It was what I had wished for, to be a collected adult who had the power to protect. I gave the name Natsumi to a member of the nameless masses, and the background now began to follow. I was a detective with a knack for investigation. Couldn't stop my soul from growing closer to my body. Midori, do you have any handkerchiefs? I put them in the froggy bag. Snacks to share with everyone? I have Momichu Manju. Did you get everything? Are you really going to be okay? Maybe I should go with... Geez, you're being annoying. I mean, sleepovers are a big deal. It'll be fine. Can you sleep alone? Call me if you feel lonely. Is this the right address? Come on, I said it'll be fine. I'm going. Stay safe and remember to greet the parents. Midori, I peeled the oranges for you. Oh, right, she's staying over at Mika's place. I don't have a shift today, so I guess I could always just go to her if needed. I've got nothing to do, though. Hello! That's me. Sorry for calling you like this. No problem. I'm actually glad you did, so what's up? I'm preparing for the worst. Spoken like a true older brother. What were you doing all this time? Nothing. So, were you watching TV or something? No. I was just sitting around. I've been at it for 8 hours now. Have you eaten? Skipping food for a day isn't a big deal. Yes, it is! Aren't you hungry? I could even skip 3 days if I really wanted to. Are you fasting? Is this a religious thing? You're still in your growth spurt, so why? I don't like eating. Grosses me out to have something enter me. I brought some strawberry donuts, though. That's different. I cracked a smile as Kikuchi Ryo's eyes lit up. I'll cook some food for you. He looked at me with his cheeks full of donut. I'm quite the cook, you know. I'll whip up something so good it'll make you forget you ever had a fear of food. Kikuchi made a face like he had just swallowed something bitter. How rude. Just watch me. There, done. Chicken Valentine with seasonal veggies and salmon and fruits on fruits and papillote. Papillote. There we go. Sorry. Papi what? My French is rusty. Sorry, folks. I was about to repeat myself, but he stopped me. You're going to charge me for this, aren't you? I'm not touching it then. Do I look like some shady scam artist to you? Well, fine. Guess I'll try it. Thanks for the food. You're welcome. Cleaned your plate, huh? Well, you made it for me, so you know. And did you like it? Yeah. You did? I'm so glad. I can make more for you some other time if you want. Sure, that'd be nice. Kikuchi Ryo, after this I'm home! The pleasant mood vanished in an instant. I could tell the voice had sent a chill down Kikuchi Ryo's spine. His eyes opened wide. You have to leave. Now. Huh? I brought your shoes here. What? Wait, shouldn't I leave through the front door? Go this way. He pointed at the window. Are you serious? Ryo, are you home? Just go already. Looking visibly panicked, he ended up basically pushing me out through the window. Hey, Kikuchi Ryo. Before I could finish, the window had closed. His mother had come home, and he knew I wanted to say something to her. Jeez, he didn't have to throw me out into the cold like that. Bothered by the cold gravel under my socks, I hastily slipped on my shoes. I told you, didn't I? I told you to leave Kikuchi Ryo alone. Come on, dude, you're being unreasonable. Unreasonable, look who's talking. I'm merely acting in self-defense. After putting away my mace and police-grade stun gun, I left the back alley. Hey, Kikuchiro, how are things today? Gloves. Hmm? Your gloves are dirty. Oh, you're right, they are. I didn't notice. What were you doing before you came here? Who knows? I'm not sure myself. You're just dodging the question. He made a grin and acted like it was nothing. By the way, there's a new cake place in town. I'm sure Midori would love it too. Are your hands hurt? Let me treat... No need. Natsume? I didn't care what happened to my body. There was only one thing I wanted to protect. As long as you're happy, it's all good. I felt a red, dense cloud gather behind me. Stop following me. Huh? Stop waiting for me outside school and stop walking after me. Why? You reek of blood. I know he's supposed to be dead, but there was a time when I thought that you might have been Natsume. But now I know it was just me overthinking it. You're nothing like him. That sentence made blood rush to my head. Next thing I knew, I was grabbing him by the shoulders. How am I different? How am I so goddamn different from Natsume? I tightened my grip, but Kikuchiro didn't even blink. Can't you figure it out on your own? What a shame. Kikuchiro closed his eyes. He used his free hand to punch me in the left cheek. I feel like I finally accepted it. Natsume is dead. But I'd finally become someone who could protect you. Why can't you see that? Oh, did you get into another fight, Ryo? Shut up, it's got nothing to do with you. I do believe you did the right thing back there. Getting involved with him will only get you in trouble. What makes you think that? Well, he doesn't think much of violence at all. You saw those cold eyes of his, didn't you? The tongue sticking out from between his thin lips. It was the red of a person without a heart. Don't act like you. Oh, I do know. I am your dad after all, the only one who understands you. Hey, Ryo. Enough. Aren't you tired? Don't you feel sad and empty? Let's stop this, okay? The funeral's over. There's no need for you to keep hurting yourself over it. You should dedicate your time to yourself. Kuchi, you them. Looks like you can't escape this no matter how hard I try. That's why that guy. Kikuchi Ryo, that's enough. Huh? You. What? Hey, here. You can't stop yourself, right? Huh? In that case, you should be violent with me. Well, what kind of joke is that? I walked toward a visibly confused Kikuchi Ryo. Why, if you get violent with me, no one will come to retaliate, unlike with those delinquents. I crossed the earth-colored bodies. This isn't about whether someone retaliates or not. You've got nothing to do with this. Why would you make it so that you get hurt? I approached the dark sun that would burn my wings. Well, I do intend to fight back. I reached toward him. Never said it'd be one-sided, did I? You're not right in the head. I'll take that as a compliment. When the sun scorched his wings and let him fall to the ground, Icarus must have been the happiest he's ever been. The two of us walked through Tokyo's streets. At an intersection, we stopped and waited for the signal to change. The world's full of worthless people. They spend their days in empty idleness. They exist, but they don't really live. And I'm one of them. Yeah, that's true. I'm just as worthless as you are. You see. Same can be said for everyone else. We're all worthless. As the traffic light changed color, the people around us all began to move. The sound of their footsteps was almost grating. As people's lives intertwined, something in them would begin to get gradually chiseled down. An endlessly precious, intimate something that we were all born with. The cold air made the wound above my eyes sting. Does it hurt? Not really. Acting all tough won't make the pain go away. Yeah, like you're one to talk. I know you felt each and every one of my blows. Don't be ridiculous. The way you're speaking says otherwise. Look, I wasn't trying to get you to shut up. The red traffic lights that would so often annoy me became gorgeous, glittering rubies when I squinted. We'd had a fight just now. We both went all out, ready to break the other's bones. Banishing all but the faintest trace of common sense from our minds, we kept on pummeling each other until we both started spitting blood. Couldn't even tell if the pain in my palm was from him punching me or from the impact of me hitting him. The pain Kikuchi Ryo gave me, the pain I gave Kikuchi Ryo, they all melted into one within me. Man, this hurts like hell. Same here. The white breaths of air we exhaled dispersed between the high-rise buildings. I gently looked at Kikuchi Ryo's smiling face. In those eyes of his, I saw the ferocity we were all born with, something that's been with us for millennia. Midori. Hello. When I called out to her, Kikuchi Midori quickly hid behind her brother. Oh, did I scare you? Don't worry, she's always like this. She acted differently the last time we met, though. I suppose time and place do matter. Okay. There was more in her startled glance than just fear of strangers. It made me feel a little uncomfortable. Here. Oh, right. Making an exasperated expression, Kikuchi Ryo reached into a first aid kit to take out some antiseptic gauze. That hurts. Of course it does. It does. And yet... Kikuchi Ryo? I don't think I'm mistaken. You mean my bad habits can't be fixed without you doing stuff this extreme? That's not what I meant. I think that your conviction that violence is bad is what's weighing down on you. What are you trying to say? Violence is evil, isn't it? It is, but it's a powerful expression of strength, and it can be good if used right, don't you agree? Yeah, that was a nice CG earlier. Look, I don't know if what you're doing comes naturally to you, or if there's some kind of motive behind it. Making a person treat the wound they created is something a devil would do. Despite the awkward goodbye, I felt Kikuchi Ryo had become more open with me after that day. There's no end to this. Come on, don't say that. The year is about to change, and we're making progress. We're close. Let's rest. We just did. You don't have any right to say that. Not to me. Yes? Can we go for a sponging? Sure, guys. We'll go to the back alley for a bit. Sure, okay. What's a sponging? Boom, blam, pow. We're back. Yep. Why are you covered in bruises, Natsumi? What happened? Well, you know, this and that. Wait, Ryo's not looking too hot either. Do you think? You're probably just imagining it. More importantly, what happened in the year 1787? The tempo reforms. Oh, you're off. What actually happened that year was? What's a sponging? I don't like being the only one doing the punching. Build some mass. Huh? 99, 100, there. Now it's time for push-ups. We're still doing it? It's too early for a break. I'm already 23. More still only 23. Now start those push-ups. Eep. I'll make you do this until you're able to punch me. There's no way. Phew. It was so snotty and pitiful. My face is all relaxed. I wonder if the sponging's working on me too. Ryo? Are you back? Yeah. Come over here for a bit. Oh. More blood. Why? Rio. Mamiya. Your mother punched you and now you're bleeding. How sad. I... It's fine. You have me. Even if everyone else in the world mistreats you, you always have me, your dad. Mamiya. Relax, it's okay. Stay by your side just like you wanted me to. Training's canceled for the day. Huh? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm just a little sleepy is all. Is your part-time job that tiring? It's not that. But it's also not something you need to worry about. Kikuchi Ryo? It's all fine. It was Mamiya. Little by little, Mamiya was chipping away at his heart, wearing it down. A red sky, heavy clouds, a feeling of unescapable oppression came over me. Shall we go? I asked him that, but didn't say where. I would do whatever I could for his sake alone. And I was certain that he understood that. We passed through the withered trees. The fallen leaves crunched under his feet with a pleasant sound. Meanwhile, the setting sun stretched out our shadows, making them almost blend in with the trees. Let's do it. Huh? He held a single acorn in his hand. Found myself staring at its smooth surface by laterally symmetrical form. Were you looking for this? Is that why you've been quiet all this time? Got a problem with it? No. I just thought you might have started to hate me. Is that what you've been thinking about? Well, I mean... As I lowered my eyebrows, Kikuchi spent a few moments in thought before continuing. If it ever happens, just say it. Huh? Do you ever feel like I've started to hate you, I mean? For the record, I don't hate you. I tell you straight up how I feel, so if you're ever worried, just ask. I don't want to be misunderstood. Especially by you. Thank you. Anyway, what's with the acorn? It's the prettiest one I could find. If Midori was here, she would probably pick this one and give it to you. But why? His eyes widened in surprise at my question. He looked almost like a cat. Finding something you like will make you want to share it with someone else. It's not my opinion, by the way. It's just what I think Midori would do. Right. Midori's presence always helps me. He hadn't taken my hand back then. I knew full well he couldn't escape from that home. Midori always finds something wonderful in sceneries I tend to just ignore, including the ones in our gray, monotonous lives. With Midori, anything can become a treasure hunt. By looking at the world through Midori's eyes, I'm able to keep my pride as a person without giving up on life. I wasn't able to pick up on what he was thinking just then. He was 2 steps behind me. Keeping the same distance, he silently followed me from behind. Suddenly I turned to face him. He was looking right at me just like he hadn't until now, and how I hoped he would going forward. The northern wind passed by between us. The sun was dazzlingly bright, and his short wavy locks danced gracefully in the wind. I know your gentle side. I know you're no less kind than Midori. The 2 of us then went to the amusement park, and I didn't know why, but the place felt older and more desolate than it had been in the writings. Oh, this is a choice. I want to get the best ending. What should I choose? You don't have to be an older brother today, or let's take it easy. That's a choice indeed. Yeah, because you don't have to be an older brother today could trigger a Mamiya episode. Like, an episode of him hallucinating Mamiya. But let's take it easy could also... You know what? I'm gonna do what all good visual novel players do. Save right here. You don't have to be an older brother today. I'm 23. That makes me 6 years older than you, right? So feel free to rely on me, alright? I turned to give him a smile. Surprised by how little resistance he displayed. There. Let's go there next. Let's do the free fall again. Just how many more times are we going to do this? With us being the only ones here, we can go on as many rides as we wanted. Still. Rio, we're riding way too many screamers. That's because I like them. You didn't strike me as the type that would. Well, I couldn't exactly ride them with Midori around, you know? I suppose that's true. You're the one who said that I don't have to be an older brother now. That's why I'm letting you spoil me. Right. Huh. Did that mean things were actually going well? Kikuchiro's adorably honest nature helped me handle the free fall until the 8th time. After that, though, I can't take this anymore. Hey, are you okay? Yeah, at least I want to believe I am, but ugh. Okay, stay put and rest here. I'll get you something to drink. Thanks. Took off my tight coat and sat down on the bench, hoping it would alleviate some of the nausea. There's no one else here. It seemed a bit more lively when I saw it in writing. Oh, a balloon. Started following it with my eyes. There was no way of knowing where a balloon would end up after it had been let go. It would simply vanish into the distant sky. He let go of Rio's hand. The voice behind me sent a chill down my spine. A fierce gust of wind swept by, and among the dancing balloons I saw a familiar figure. A yellow sky, a faintly golden hue. A deserted amusement park, youth brimming with desire. Welcome to my domain. Mamiya. An amusement park. How very thoughtful of you. It is, after all, a place filled with the dreams of children. A space seemingly cut off from the rest of the world. It's what Rio truly wants. And only I can grant him what he desires. You're wrong. The only thing you can grant him is death, and that's not what he wants. Oh, and what do you really know about him? Do you have any idea what became of his childlike innocence after it was pushed aside by pain and responsibility? Well, do you? I do. Deception pushed to its limit is nothing but recklessness. I am both a spectator and an adult older than you. So that's the position you're taking. A spectator, an outsider to the story, descended all the way down here, and now acting as the bastion who will save the story. That's the duty I'm supposed to fulfill. My ultimate wish as a spectator is that I can continue to embrace his memories in safety. I didn't know the face of this rabbit child. However, he had the aura of someone who'd given up on it all. He was looking straight at me. It was the look of someone staring at a being akin to a balloon, something full of emptiness. I see. We may eventually become nothing more than memories. We cannot betray those who need us. When they seek us out, we want to show them kindness. It's to make up for all the suffering they had to endure at the hands of those who possess physical bodies. If only I had my own body. I could make them so much happier. Excuse me, we missed the final bus for the day, and... Not to worry, sir. We do have free rooms available. I'll be happy to show you to one. In the end, we decided to spend the night at a lodging house near the amusement park. Fortunately, there were free rooms, and we were taken to one of them. Did I miss a CG? Admittedly, it was a bit too large for just the two of us.
As I excitedly scanned the room, the young man was sniffing around like a cat. Oh no, it's just a bit of a habit. Okay. Good night, then. Yeah, good night. I suddenly woke up. Going by the darkness, it was still nighttime. Needing to go to the bathroom, I went to the sliding door and... Wait, what are you doing? Found Kikuchi Rio standing outside. Standing guard. You just couldn't sleep, could you? The smell of this place is new to me. Can't sleep if I don't know the smell of her room. And since I couldn't sleep, I figured I might as well make myself useful. You paid for this place, and then I went and wasted it. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's take a walk outside. The chilly air outside felt pleasant. It neatly caressed our cheeks with its cool fingers. The two of us continued inhaling deep breaths in silence. What could be waiting for us beyond that hill? Did you know the answer to that? Gochiro said nothing. He merely looked into the distance with those clear amber eyes of his, occasionally blinking when the wind tickled his eyelashes. What could be waiting for us behind that hill? Are you tired? Not really. We just kept walking. We had no idea what awaited us. It could have been a terrifying monster that would swallow both of us whole, or it could have been a dark, endlessly stretching desert. Regardless, we had no choice but to press on. We ate the warm soup we had bought at a vending machine we passed by. Relief watched over me in waves. It's good. Kikuchi Rio was still not saying anything. But when I looked up at him in the pale, white breaths he exhaled, he did seem somewhat at peace. At school, you always reminded me of a caged bird. You do nothing but gaze out through the window. You had always been closer to both life and death than anyone else, and lived a pure life with no room for either entertainment or boredom. I had always found that both intense and a sign of strength. Yeah. Kikuchi Rio, look. Stars shone bright in the sky, almost as if to compete with the dark clouds. You shine as fiercely as the first star in the sky. You don't blend in with the other stars, though. You're too dazzling for that. You burn as bright and as strong as your life allows. That's why I know that you'll be able to bear whatever burden you're carrying right now. You're strong. And you know the makings of a proud, resolute heart. There's something I want you to always remember. You're never alone. It might be difficult for you to say it to someone like me, though, especially considering the ideals you hold yourself to. But mankind is more fragile than anyone realizes. You feel like you're about to buckle under the pressure, share your pain with someone else, let them in. They won't be bothered, so have the courage to rely on others. It might make you feel awkward or sorry, but there's no reason to worry. People are more accepting than you think. And why is it so bad if they're not? Your moments of weakness, as well as your uglier sides, they're just as much a part of you as your strength or your tenacity. They all make up who you are. So don't let your ideals crush you. When you open up about your pain to someone, make sure to accept their sadness when they share their grief with you. It might not happen right then and there, but sometime later down the road. You might feel a little awkward about it, but don't forget your own pain. Treasure yourself and those around you. I want you to be thankful for the miracle of being born into this world. I see. I see. I didn't know if he was able to sleep peacefully back at the lodging house. Even so, as I waited for the morning sun, I hoped he was at least a little bit at ease. Sadly, the path leading home from the lodging house was darkened by cloudy skies. Here. What's this? A balloon, as you can clearly see. I'll take it. Oh? What? I'm surprised by how honest you're being. I've always wanted one. I knew it would get in the way, but I always wanted to grab a balloon on my way from the amusement park. Rio. I'm
simply where your happiness is. All I wanted was to be your dad. Have blue. It's a little something to protect you on your way back home. May end up deflating by tomorrow, but it will protect the child in you until you get home. Treasure it and make sure it doesn't fly away.
Goodbye, Mamiya. Goodbye. Kikuchi Ryo didn't turn around. Fourth Friday. Tokyo, during the year in which the world was prophesied to end, the fourth Friday of the final month of the year. Natsume's memorial mass had ended, and the participants went to his grave. Kikuchi Ryo stood in front of the church, his eyes gleaming with a fiery hue. Are you okay? What do you mean? Well, you kind of look like you haven't slept much recently. I was actually so nervous I couldn't get a week of sleep. You couldn't tell that by the way you're standing. Though, you did use the time to think things through. I see. The young man pressed his lips tightly together. That brief glimpse of innocence so fitting for someone his age put my heart at ease. Let's go visit Natsume's grave. Yeah. The public cemetery was in an open area some distance away from the church. Various graves were lined up in a clouded area sprinkled in green. We stopped in front of one. It was just like all the others, lacking any distinguishing features, and it belonged to Natsume Tsuchiro. In other words, me. A strong gust of wind blew past us, and so Kikuchi Ryo stood tall and resolute before the grave, showing no hint of fear. The accessory he chose to give Natsume was a ballpoint pen. Is this a ballpoint pen? Yeah. I hadn't expected him to choose something like that, but I did my best to hide my surprise. Natsume once lent me his ballpoint pen. We sat close, so I happened to borrow it, and in the end, he told me just to keep the thing. At first I thought I'd give him back the same one he lent me. Then I realized something, and accepting the pen, it's essentially become mine. So giving it back would have been like rejecting his kindness in a way. But why a ballpoint pen at all? Well, Natsume's always come off to me as the scholarly type. Shoot, my tongue. I used to consider school to be a waste of time. I just didn't think I'd need it in my life. But if I wasn't a student, and if Natsume hadn't picked the same school as me, we would have never met. As much as I hated how suffocating that school was, I figured I should treasure it for his sake. Its pen may not be much compared to the one he used, but I just think that things might have been different if I could return the kindness he did. I wasn't able to give him back anything. That's not true. Kikuchi Ryo shook his head. It's why I want to give back what he gave me in the future. I'll treat those who had always looked out for me with kindness and warmth, and would brighten their lives the same way Natsume brightened mine. You were the one who taught me that I still had the capacity for such things. For a brief moment, I felt like Kikuchi Ryo made the faintest of smiles. He had a soft expression, gentle, much like a cat's fur. So this pen is like a promise. I see. Kikuchi Ryo had accepted his days as routine and carried the weight of his own strength. If he had finally discovered the kindness within himself, I could ask for nothing more. I'm sure he'll be glad. We looked at Natsume's grave for a good while before finally walking off. Come on, Kikuchi Ryo, let's go. I have food to make once I get home. Oh, mind if I tag along? Don't be silly. I was about to ask you for help anyway. Oh, you're counting me as family now, dumbass. Ow. Just so you know, I have pretty high expectations of your cooking. Challenge accepted. I had no idea what awaited us beyond the hell, beyond the end of this story. However, it's fine. I'm sure you will draw up a wonderful world. I believe in you. Come on, hurry up. We'll be late for the sale. Huh? We're running? Whoa, slow down. You're going too fast. Let us go then and find out what awaits us beyond that light.
Are you sure? Are you absolutely sure this kind of ending made your friend happy? All right. You may just enjoy bathing in your happiness without knowing the truth, spectator. Yeah, now we can finally talk about us. Whew. I think I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna take a breath, talk with you guys. Like I'm not ending a stream or switching to like an intermission screen or anything like that. Like I'm gonna talk with you guys. So we saved Kikuchi Ryo in at least one timeline. That that's good. But I do think based on the pacing, I think I might have missed some CG that involves like I'm gonna there it is. Okay. There are a lot of CGs in episode 3. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages of it. Oof.
So there's an ending that I haven't unlocked that I must have skipped over. So, what do you think so far? Well, what I think is you should probably stop using my voice for Mamiya, but I'm out of words. Lamau, I love Mamiya. Fair. Sorry, I'm just enjoying playing this. We're already past the point where you guys pre-screened it for me, so yeah, I know. Full disclosure, we have dissociative identity disorder. We previewed all the way up through tip number 3 for all the way up through the end of tip number 3 for Adrian's sake, so that we would know for sure whether or not the heavy themes would be something that he could handle. For those who don't know, dissociative identity disorder is a severe trauma disorder, formerly known as multiple personality disorder. And Adrian was the one playing all the way up until we got to tips 3. Yeah, it's understandable, don't worry. At which point, hi, I'm Kirive, I'm the host, I'm the person whose image is on all of the merch. I'm the person whose image is also on our branding for both our channel and yeah. So now the two of us are playing it together. Oh, hi. Yes. Hi. I took over right at the end of tips 3, right when where we knew what was going to happen ended. Adrian did not have access to any of our memories from pre-screening it for him. So, genuinely our first playthrough is genuinely our first playthrough. Toji Minato is next. I'm beginning to wonder... Oh, I'm also starting to wonder. Yeah, so here's what's running through our head right now. Toji Minato has themes of gender nonconformity. That was his thing in Fall Down, right? So I wonder if gender nonconformity is going to be a theme in his downfall route as well. Because yeah, so I'll take it from here. So one of the things about having DID is our sense of gender is all over the place. There are female versions of us. There are non-binary versions, like our host. And then there are male versions, like me. But Toji Minato's themes
our gender nonconformity. His secret is that he secretly wants to be able to present more feminine than is necessary for the male socialization that he was raised in. And it severely traumatizes him that he can't be the person that he actually wants to be. That was what we got during his fall down route. So what we're wondering is, what aspects of that will carry over? Or, what aspects won't? Like, will something else happen? Will this be completely separate from the fall down stuff now that we're in downfall? Yeah, that sums it up. Thank you, Adrian. So, I'm gonna take a big sip of caffeine. Sorry for those of you with misophonia, I just realized my mic is that sensitive. Shit. Okay. Ready for round 2? I chose to observe Tojo Minato. As I began to think when I would meet him next, a voice called out to me. You'll need to see, but that's great insight. I hope you enjoy. Yeah. Natsumi, wait. Hearing the voice of Tojo Minato made me turn around. When I did, there he was, heaving ragged breaths. He looked up at me with his still flushed face. When our eyes finally met, he made a warm, innocent smile. Are you free anytime soon? Sure, I don't really have anything planned. Great, then let's hang out. Okay, but why ask me that, though? You're gonna make me say it? He let his sweaty hair dance in the breeze as he tilted his head to the side. I suddenly tensed up, fearing he might find me rude. I'm joking, it's nothing serious. You said you just moved here recently, so I wanted to show you around town. His youthful chuckle left me entranced for a moment. It's perfect, then. I was actually thinking of getting to know you better myself. All right, then let's meet up on Sunday in front of the station. Natsumi, over here. We chatted while walking. He was on the part of the sidewalk closer to the road. I was the adult here, though, plus I was taller. Bashfully feeling like a girl being escorted by her boyfriend, I allowed him to take the lead. Tojo Minato had always been a class favorite. He could get along with pretty much anyone, and I greatly respected him for that. In life, I was a plain, everyday man who had about as much presence as air. Being a gentle soul, Tojo would often come talk to me, but our conversations were short-lived. He soon returned to his own circle of friends, leaving me to gaze at him from a distance. But now we were enjoying a weekend together. I could have never managed to do something like that while I was still alive. Just thinking about it nearly put a smile on my face. Here you go, 2 lunch sets, a rice omelet and a chocolate banana pancake. Enjoy your meal. Yay, look at all this food. Did he intend to eat more than just a lunch set? Would it be alright if we brought you a deluxe parfait after the meal? Yes, that's fine. Well, he's in his growth period. Do you enjoy school? Hey, don't ask questions I'd expect from an estranged uncle. Though yeah, I do enjoy school. That's great to hear. You know, I wish I was as close to everyone as you are. Huh? Me? Yeah, I've always looked up to people like you. You're unexpectedly cute, Natsume. Well, what? I'm just joking. I could feel my cheeks get flushed as he continued to giggle. Did you have fun? Yeah, I had a great time. Thanks for such a wonderful day. Don't hesitate to call me if you need anything, okay? Even if it's just a bug you need squished, just let me know. I'll come running. Thanks, you're very kind. I smiled at him. He seemed bewildered at first, but then looked at me with upturned eyes. Only to you, though. Before I could ask what he had meant, he poked my chest with his finger. Let's go. I'll see you at the station. Sure. Oh wait, there's somewhere I'd like to drop by first. A flower shop? Wow, you buy flowers? That's so mature. Here, for you. Huh? I gave him a bouquet of dazzling yellow orchids. I'd be happy if you decorated your room with them. And yellow flowers again. Huh? Does yellow really suit me that well? He chuckled with a dry voice and turned his hand around. Anyway, I'm going this way. Thanks for today. See you. I'm not kind at all. Tojo Minato whispered that under his breath while still holding the yellow bouquet. The train kept on rocking back and forth. Surrounded by its sound, Tojo Minato slowly closed his eyes. I'm back. Once again, his greeting was met with no reply as he stepped into the dark room. It was cold, so he turned on the heating. He placed the bouquet on his desk and prepped a vase for it. This would be the second time he'd plant yellow flowers here. He slowly brought his face closer to the orchids. Don't do this to me. The sweet scent brought back some memories that caused him to bite his lip. Are you humming? That sounds nice. What song is it? It's the new song by SMAP. I got it thanks to my mom. Idols, huh? Me and some girls in class are practicing AKB. Give me a break. Idols aren't even real artists. So why is all this crap all over the rankings? It's a bunch of bullshit if you ask me. I don't know many songs myself. I'll let you listen to it some other time. It's great. Did you ever like an idol or something similar? My eyes lit up. I was waiting for this. I absolutely adore Mina, the Cinderella maid. The Cinderella what? Oh, you mean that maid you introduced me to? She's not actually one, though. The place she works at just uses it as a theme. The meeting was soon disbanded. See you next time, Tojo. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to it. Only Tojo, Minato, and I were left in the donut shop. Okay then, guess we should probably leave too. You also know Mina? Huh? What? I mean, the other Natsumi also talked about her a lot. Yeah, sure. I've heard a lot about her from Natsumi, so... I see, so it was Natsumi. Tojo? Oh, I almost forgot. Morachika and I are going to a musical event tomorrow. Want to come along? A musical event? Like an event that was all about listening to hype music and being all hell yeah? Yeah, I think I'll pass. Oh, that's a shame. But do enjoy it in my stead, too. Oh, I will, absolutely. Anyway, I'll see you some other time. Alright, I'll be going... This is Tojo Minato's cassette tape. I remembered it from the other story. I knew how much it meant to him. He carried it around at all times, almost like a lucky charm. I had to bring it to him. However, he said he'd be meeting Morachika Haruki tomorrow. Guess I'll meet him on Monday after school. I nodded to myself and slid the tape into my pocket. The tape. Where's the tape? Why is it gone? I had it on me at all times. I know I did. Minato? I like... Minato? I like women. I can date them just fine. So why do I become like that when... Minato, calm down. Is it because I do that? Would I have stayed normal if I didn't wear that? Minato, look at me. Deep breaths in and out. That's it, nice and slow. I love you no matter how you are. Mamiya. I love you. Why does it make me happy to hear you say that? Am I that shallow? I'm such a woman. It's too late now. Entirely too late. Unfortunately, Monday was a rainy day. The rain occasionally stopped, only to return minutes later. The sky wasn't the least bit uniform. I was feeling rather uncomfortable. Oh, Natsumi, why are you here? You left this at the shop. Here you go. Ah! Tojo made a face like he was about to cry, then gripped the cassette tape like it was the most important thing to him in the world. I can't believe I nearly lost it. I'm so glad you brought it back to me. I suppose that's one more thing I have to make up to you for. Come on, it's no big deal. Anyway, want me to see you home? Sure. But only if you don't mind. We headed for Tojo's home. Tojo Minato flashed his usual smile. Was it really the usual one, though? He seemed somewhat... Did something happen? Not really. I'm the same as ever. Is something going on at school or something else? I look like someone who gets bullied. If anything, the class revolves around me. Tojo Minato. Stop walking. It's cold out here. Let's just hurry. Look at me. Why would I do that? The umbrella's in the way. I should be the one asking if something's happened to you. You're not being normal. The blue umbrella stopped moving. The rain became even stronger. I see. Not even the rain could drown out his firm, clear voice. But not you. So I don't always understand what you're talking about. I feel like it would have been better if I didn't hear him. His voice sounded so cold and distant, it made me even question if I was even talking to Tojo Minato. Natsume called out to me from behind the umbrella. What is it, Tojo Minato? Talked to him as gently as I could. Right now, he was essentially like a cornered animal. I didn't know what could happen if I set him off. You said I was kind, but you're wrong. It's my fault that Natsume died. Passing car's headlights lit up his side profile. There's nothing kind about me. The light passed in an instant. I wasn't able to save him. This would have come to light sooner or later, so I'll admit it right now. I actually saw Natsume in you. Thought that Natsume would forgive my sins if I was nice to you. But you didn't commit any sin to begin with. I want Natsume to forgive me. You're innocent. Natsume continues to haunt me. I can hear his curses. My name was in Natsume's note because he wanted me to atone. Why else would I be there? Sorry. Pushed me away gently, but with palpable firmness. I ended up involving you in all this because of my own self-centeredness. Aren't you disappointed in me? Look, just forget about me. I don't care anymore. That was a twist. That was a fucking twist. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. Like, he blames himself for Natsume's death, obviously, but how involved was he? Just forget about me. I don't care anymore. I'm sorry about everything. He said he was sorry, so there must have been something he wanted to be forgiven for. That was why I chose to accept his words. So I watched him walk away. Yeah, indeed, I was actually vexed by this. Tojo Minato misunderstood me hard and felt an unreasonable sense of guilt. I was so disappointed in myself. I then went on to just stand in the rain. Natsume. What? Hey, Natsume. Mina. I jumped up in surprise and immediately realized I wasn't in my own room. What's going on? What a lovely smell. I didn't know why, but the world seemed so unusually bright. Looked around and saw Mina in my arms. She could believe someone had just tickled her. Yeah. Was this a dream? Yeah, it has to be. There's no other explanation. Natsumi. Yes? Where did you come from, and where will you go? It seems awfully philosophical for a dream. Maybe she asked that precisely because this was a dream. As I wondered how to respond, Mina hurled even more questions at me. Where did we come from? Where should we go? Where did life originate? Those are some pretty difficult... She affectionately pushed herself onto me. I tensed up and couldn't move properly. Me. Natsumi. Don't forget me. I couldn't even if I wanted to. How could I forget someone so lovely and full of charm? Makes me so happy. She smiled one minute, then made herself comfortable and slowly closed her pretty eyes. Huh? Was this the part where Was it that? Had the time actually come? My whole body was so stiff, all I could do was look at her. I was so tense, I ended up gulping audibly and getting immediately embarrassed by it. I then gathered my resolve and placed my hands on her shoulders. Natsumi. Mina. Came back to my senses. I'd fallen out of bed with my legs wrapped in the sheet covers. The romantic music never fails to make me laugh. Yeah, I'm the worst. The sheer disgust I felt towards myself made me hug my pillow tight. Like this? Wow, you're so good at this. Are you actually an expert chef? Well, you know, I dabble sometimes. You're just being humble. Here, I was thinking of showing off. He started pouting while flailing his hands around. When I arrived at his place, he welcomed me in an apron. We didn't even talk about what we'd be cooking, so I only brought a bottle of champagne. It's so fancy. Is it alcoholic? Of course not. You didn't have to be so considerate of me. What's the point of drinking if I can't do it with you? Good point. Sorry for the wait. The forecast says it'll rain. Did you bring an umbrella? Rain? Oh man, I guess I'm going home drenched. Oh, then why not just stay over here? I won't mind. He waved his hands. His words made my heart skip a beat. Really? I suppose I'll take you up on that offer then. We have time until the food's done. Should I turn the TV on? Oh, hey, do you have a photo album or something? Huh. I think I may or may not have just looked through one recently. Well, it's not every day you get a chance or even a reason to look at them. Could you show it to me? Well, fine, but only because it's you asking. Tojo Minato brought over an album from his room. We got so into it, we didn't notice how dark it was getting outside. Wow, you have long hair in this photo. Yeah, hey, stop. That's a past I want to forget. Why did you grow it out? I think I was a fan of an anime character. That's kind of cute. I'll make you show me yours someday. What, mine? I'll dig up all your embarrassing secrets. Actually, I didn't even think I even had an album. Before I could say that, though, a photo fell out of the last page of the album. Flowing locks, half-twin tails, a long dignified skirt, and a certain air of purity. Mina? As Tojo Minato picked up the photo, his expression changed drastically. Tojo. You're one of Mina's fans, too? That's... Hey, don't worry. I'm the type of fan who welcomes fellow fans. Let's cheer her on together. Oh, but if you're against fellow fans, then... That's not it. She's actually my cousin. You're what? You seem to be a fan, so I didn't know whether to say that or not. You know her personal life? Yeah, I guess. I'm so jealous. No. Oh god, what if the twist is that Minato is what Mina is short for? Oh. So in addition to being gender non-conforming, he also does drag for a job. That makes so much sense. I'm a fan. I can't allow myself to know her offline life. Is that how it is? Yeah, fan needs to be wary of the distance with his idol. She's not really someone who deserves fans. His tone went down. Tojo Minato gently traced Mina's outline with his finger. Couldn't quite make out his expression in the dark. However, I felt something in his words. Tojo? Silence descended upon us. A navy blue curtain had fallen over the outside of the window. Began to hear the faint sound of rain. You'd be sorely disappointed if you knew what she was really like. My vision began to shake. I'd heard that voice somewhere. No? It was obviously Tojo Minato's voice, but that wasn't it. You'd be thoroughly disillusioned, I'm sure of it. My head felt heavy. Someone that meant a lot to me was disparaging someone I held similarly dear. Natsume. Please don't forget me. Why would you say that? I stood up before I realized it. Natsume. Mina works hard. She gives dreams to those of us who need them. I think that's good enough, so no matter what she's like, the Cinderella she shows us wouldn't be sullied by that. I didn't think you were the type to say that. Huh? Oh. I think I should go. What? Natsume? I'm a lot more disappointed in you than when you saw Natsume in me. Within that blue room, the only sound that could be heard belonged to the light drizzle outside. Tojo Minato didn't even see the near wilted orchids. The album still on the floor, simply stood in place dumbfounded as he looked at the person who just went out the door.
I wish it was easier to listen to myself.
Don't I hate this river? Do I come here because I hate it? Would this be easier if it scolded me?
Music doesn't sound the
Still,
same.
I'm dreading people finding out and
Voice
hating me
doesn't
for it.
sound the same.
And I come to you for words of comfort. As well as the fear of not being understood by others. Yeah. You're right.
Sometimes it's so
Minato.
hard to see.
Mamiya skillfully planted his legs on the thin railing, extended his arm towards Tojo Minato. I love you.
I wonder if it's ever
I
gonna
want to
finish.
embrace you. Mamiya.
One day I'll just go to sleep.
The water of the flowing river got louder and louder.
One day I'll get up to
I went too far yesterday. As a fan of Mina's, I had no choice but to say something. Even so, I have to apologize to Tojo Minato. Natsume. Ah, Kikuchiro, have you seen Tojo Minato? Minato's... Shit. He's not answering no matter how many times I call him. It wasn't school or even at home. It had begun to rain. I could feel each droplet trickle down my cheeks. The scent of the rain gave me a bad feeling. Could he be? Tojo Minato. Shouted when I saw him standing on the railing of the river looking downward. That's dangerous. The rain almost pushed him off, but I embraced him before he could fall. Oh, thank goodness I came in time. Tojo Minato didn't look at me. He was only looking at the river. The same river he supposedly hated. The river. What? Finally understand why I hate it. It's like me. It's sedimented and filled with all kinds of water. Hey. Mixed things are filthy, aren't they? Sorry about yesterday. Oh, it's okay. I'm fine now, so let me go. What will happen if I do? Let's just get away from here for starters. You'll catch a cold if you stay too long. A cold. His white breath dispersed into the air. Let's just find a place with a roof. When I pulled him closer, I could feel his cold, hard shoulder bones against mine. Despite that, he still didn't look at me. His blue lips made my heart sting. Out of sheer worry, I ended up touching his cheek. Tojo. Couldn't feel his warmth through my gloves. Called out to him several times, but his black, glossy eyes never even looked at me. Let's go home. Let's go back to your place together. The
The orchid withered. What? Sorry. Don't be. It's what flowers do. Hmm? He suddenly took several deep, long breaths. He then looked right at me. I'll go get changed. You just wait there. I hope I don't catch a cold. No, it's me. Oh, I told you. Huh? Why is Mina here? Not me. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. There they stood, their face distorted with tears. And yet they looked at me with eyes that reflected a certain bravery. The person before me was both my idol and Tojo Minato at the same time. I see. Man, I had no idea you were Mina. It doesn't bother me at all, though. That's me. Man, it always feels great to have Mina speak my name. That's me. Your tea is spilling. Huh? Your hands are shaking. It's like there's an earthquake around them. Oh. I'm sorry. It's okay, let me wipe your clothes. Thank you. She used a towel to carefully wipe my chest. A pleasant scent reached my nose every time she moved. I felt my face heat up. Natsumi? Oh, don't mind me. Well, I had no idea you were Mina. Huh? Huh? Thought you realized it a long time ago. That you were only playing along. I didn't. I had no idea. It never even crossed my mind. Okay, it's off. Thank you. But when I said that, she jumped away. That actually made me somewhat sad. Still, I think it was only a matter of time. Huh? I think you would have seen right through me at some point. I'm not so sure about that. Sorry. Why are you apologizing? Because I tricked you? Not just you, everyone. Oh, come on, you didn't. You're not gonna hate me? Expected you to get mad or push me away. Well, it's kind of like I don't quite understand this yet. I recalled Tojo Minato's story. He ended up breaking down because he couldn't maintain the balance between his heart and his surroundings. It was a tragedy caused by a lack of outlet. More than anything, I'm just relieved you're accepting yourself. You talk like you know everything about me. And hearing Mina talk in such a masculine tone sure was something. Why did you think that? Why do you think I'm accepting myself? For all you know, I could be a vile narcissist who just enjoys looking down on people. I know that's not true. I'm just happy. I truly am. Happy that you're free. Free. Mina's eyes changed. Yeah, I suppose this could be called freedom. If I could redo everything, I would have chosen not to take up this appearance. Why? His words came as a surprise. Wasn't he met with a tragedy because he was bottling it all in? The more time I spend as a maid, as Mina, the more aware I become of how different I am from others. It was fun at first. I could wear what I wanted and did my best to look cute. But I go to school 5 times a week. I attended class, spent the time after that as Mina, then repeated it all over again. As a student, I chatted with my classmates about the shows we watched, the magazines we read, the limited time venues we tried. As time went by, I began to wonder what I was even doing. The longer I wore a maid outfit, the more I worked as Mina, the more I laughed as her, the more painfully aware I became of the difference between me and my surroundings. I knew it'd be like this. I never would have done it in the first place. If I hadn't become Mina, I would have never had to feel so crushed by guilt because of all the people that liked me. I regretted what I'd said. Just thought that he would find peace if he just had an outlet outside of school. That wasn't the problem. The root of his problem was the idea that he was unlike everyone else. The stronger the difference between him and his surroundings became, the worse the pain within him grew. I still have the phone. The phone he gave me on that day. I wanted to get rid of it. I wanted to close it off in his casket forever along with our memories. That's why I found the idea of burying something with him so convenient. Throughout this month, both of myself would forget about Natsume. Why had he given me the phone? Did he find himself caught up in some incident? Was he seeking help? Well, I could have done anything back then. If I hadn't lost sight of his phone even for a second, would he have not died? I had many questions like that. Natsume is no longer with us. I'll never atone for my sins. So at the very least, I wanted to be forgiven by being nice to you. That's about the gist of it, really. Mina. The way you call my name is so much like the real Natsume. That was rude of me, wasn't it? You're a different person after all. Mina. Mina, you have a mini live event coming up, don't you? Your blog says you dance to a new song. You're looking forward to it. Stop. Natsume, stop. Don't say that. Don't call me the same way you used to. There's something you want to say to me, just say it. You must be full of questions, right? Took a deep breath and spent a good amount of time thinking. Why had he given me the phone? Had he been caught up in some incident? Was he seeking help? If I could have done anything back then. I hadn't lost sight of his phone even for a second. Would he not have died? A great variety of words flashed through his mind. He thought about what he could ask to make the guilt go away. In the end, only one thing escaped his lips. Would you accept me as a girl? Of course. So... Mina cried her eyes out, ignoring the mess she was making of her unicorn. By the time her voice lost warmth, the rain had already let up. There was a large window in Tojo Minato's home. The light inside was off, so you could see the outside very clearly. The large yellow moon shone down on the cheeks of the youth next to me. We bathed in the moonlight. The light of the sun exposed too much, so this weak round outline was just perfect for us. Are you cold? Yeah. Now that you mention it, I am. Should I bring you something like a blanket? Over here. Come closer. Tojo tilted his head and invited me closer, so I went to sit next to him. Tojo. Within the pale blue light, Tojo Minato looked out into the distance through the window. What was reflected in those eyes of his? I couldn't begin to tell. Natsume. What? Do you have any siblings? Not really, you don't either, right? Right, but I almost did. I'm not sure if they would have been older or younger than me, though. What do you mean? My mother once told me something, and I don't even know if it's true. Apparently I was supposed to be a twin. Tojo Minato went on in a lone, disinterest tone. While we were still in my mother's room, the doctor said there were two of us inside. However, one of them vanished in the early stages of the pregnancy. A vanishing twin. What? A vanishing twin, that's what it's called, I think. You see, you're so knowledgeable. I heard it when I was little, but I didn't think of much of it at the time. Still, I sometimes wonder where the other one vanished. From time to time, I think about what my twin would have been like. Isn't that a wonderful thing to think about, though? I mean, I might have been a twin. The twin vanished before it was clear whether it would have been identical or fraternal, so I don't even know what they would have been like me. What if my twin was a girl? Tojo Minato's tone suddenly changed. It sounded like he was on the verge of tears. I didn't look at him, though. It wouldn't have felt right. Hold on. I keep wondering, there's a part of me dedicated to her, and that's why she winds up showing herself every now and then. Maybe this is what she wants. Just saying all that in a single breath, he gave me held deeply. As for me, I maintained my silence. No, I really do.
I know that the vanished one has nothing to do with the current me. I know it's not that simple, but right now I can't help but feel like it's somehow connected to everything. I searched for a cause within the girl that was with me before I was even me. I finally understood everything, including the nature of his pain. You wanted to know yourself. You've always wanted to know yourself. You're searching for your current self as well as the true nature you had since before you were born. Our true natures are highly unstable and can never be seen. That's exactly why you needed a source of stability that had a concrete form. Finally came to face him and the person he was. Dr. Minato had been looking at me all this time. I saw my reflection wavering in the moist gleam of his dual-colored eyes, along with the moon as it shone down on us. Natsumi. Huh? Call me Natsumi. Say it the way you said it to him. That's your punishment. His lips began to tremble. In that case, I could tell that he was doing his best to differentiate between me and the Natsumi who died. I knew this would leave him thoroughly bewildered. After all, it'd be like tethering a person's ghost to him. Minato. His shoulders trembled. He was clearly flustered by the way I addressed him. And so this was the perfect punishment for him. Minato. I repeated his name to mask how much I'd been trembling myself. I felt like addressing him that way would freeze my tongue. Major Minato slowly looked up at me with his large round eyes. He opened his mouth as if to say something, then closed it. Then he opened it again, and we both waited for the air to shake. Nah. That's me. Waited a few seconds to process his tone. Tojo Minato was afraid. I, however, was happy. That feels a lot more natural. I was being honest. His emerald green eyes told me that I was making him do something truly cruel. I refused to listen to them. Only sounds mattered to me now. After all, that was the punishment I had prepared for him. We stayed like that for a while. The light of the evening felt strangely gentle and warm. A chilly breeze snuck in through the closed window, making the room somewhat cold. As a result, we drew closer to each other, and huddled up as much as we could, almost as if to share in each other's warmth. I looked up at the now moonless sky. I thought about how great it would be if one could convey their feelings with a single, well-chosen word. Natsumi! Tojo Minato appeared, squinted his eyes, and playfully embraced my shoulder. Is it just me, or is that the first time you've made that face? I'm reserving it for you. He tickled my chin with his fingers. Jeez, I'm not a cat. Might as well be one, though. I didn't see how... I can get mad too, you know. But you can't resist this face, can you? Quickly brought a hand to his mouth and looked at me like a lost puppy. Like taking candy from a baby. Ever since that night, Tojo Minato had been treating me like his other self. He had always been the type to go overboard for the sake of others, and he had always focused on keeping the group entertained and peaceful. He placed great value in maintaining the harmony of his surroundings, which is why he had kept his own opinions suppressed. And so, he had no reason to hold back against his other self. In other words, me. The fact that this was just him opening up made me somewhat happy. Would you look at that? You two seem awfully close. Hell, that's because we are, right? I guess so. Oh, you're almost like siblings. Huh? Or more like twins. They're nothing alike, dude. You're right. Twins. Tojo Minato seemed positively delighted with that comparison. So which one of us do you think would be the older brother? Minato. Tojo. What's with the unanimous agreement? Just so you're all aware, I'm actually older than him. You're the type people want to spoil.
That doesn't make me particularly happy, you know? He poked my cheek when I started pouting. Yeah.
You should be more honest with yourself.
Twins, huh? We really were twins. Then we had to be the most twisted pair on earth. We were nothing alike. Perhaps I could have become more familiar with him if I was Natsume. And if he was Mina, perhaps the two would have become a better pair than we were. 2 faces. 4 faces. We had different sides to us, and yet they constantly flipped like pieces in a game of reverse. We treasured this moment when our colors had finally become one from the bottom of our hearts. A concert? Yeah, I got tickets for my parents. Oh, they came back yesterday. Yeah, it's been ages since we had dinner together. Bags under Dad's eyes were really something else. He flashed a smile. He got 2 tickets from someone at work, but they weren't able to have a day off. So he asked me to go instead. Oh, you also listen to classical music? Not often, but I know someone who used to really be into it. Why not go with them then? Oh, is that jealousy I'm detecting? No. It's fine, don't worry. It's you I want to go with. I see. I suppose I can go then. But do try to wear something other than a trench coat, okay? I'll think about it. Wow. See, I answered your request. Let's go, Natsume. Tojo Minato extended his hand toward me. He was as considerate as always. The place had a tall, gaudy, decorated ceiling. People around us were filled with expectations of a good performance as well as a decent amount of tension. Both are so pretty. Yes, they are. Sat down, crossed my legs, and pored over the program. Was that person who liked classical music your ex-girlfriend or something? Hey, don't make me laugh in a place like this. You're the one who made them sound like a big deal, though. That's not it. It was just an acquaintance. It's been a while since we met, though. We grew apart without realizing it. Were you too close? Yeah, very. They taught me plenty of things and showered me with kindness and joy. I see. What about you? Have you ever dated anyone? What would I have to do with this? I just want to know. It's about to start. Hold it, Natsume. Waved my hand as if pushing his words away. A few moments later, the lights in the room were beginning to dim. The curtain rose, exposing the orchestra and the lights. Huh? The lit stage was barren. Not just the stage, there was no audience either. Even Tojo Minato was gone. What's going on? This is a concert for you alone. I looked up high at the stage where the voice came from. There I saw a conductor bathed in spotlights. Mamiya. Overcome by anger, I stood up. That's bad manners. He swung his baton down, forcing me to sit. Before I knew what was happening, Mamiya was right in front of me, pointing the baton in my direction. You know nothing about Minato. What do you mean? I know him. I know the melodies he adores, the rhythms that soothe his heart, the gradients that make him feel good. I'm more fit to be at his side than anyone else. There's nothing you can do for him. It's not true I can save him. You can't. Then what about the others? What will happen to the others while you deal with Minato? I take closer to them, too. At the same time, how long would that take? Do you think it would be easy? What will happen to Minato while you're busy with that? The baton touched my nose. Before I knew it, his legs were on the chair in front of me, and he was facing me from up close. I can do it. Only for Minato. I am here. On the same battlefield he fights on. I'll stand by him. I'll protect him and fight with him. Ooh, this is a choice. I can fight too. I'll support Tojo Minato without your help, Mamiya.
Telling you that's impossible. There's nothing that I do not already have.
No. You have no form. You have no form. Without that, you can't hope to protect them in the real world. Some things are only possible because I'm formless. I can be with them at all times. There's nothing more to you than a friend, as you know. No. And a soul twin. And a soul twin. I will be special to him.
Twin. Takes a lot to say something so shameless.
What's wrong with it?
You're that confident, but show me. Show me the ending you desire. Show me Minato as he lives on and becomes happy.
That's me. My eyes and saw Tojo Minato looking at me with a confused expression. The performance is over. Huh, oh. I suppose I can understand enjoying it so much that you'd fall asleep, but still. Huh, where's Mamiya? Huh? No, it's nothing. You must be tired. I'm definitely taking you to a rock festival next time. Sure, absolutely. I want to go somewhere again. Minato, did my magic reach you? Did my love grant you peace? Long restless nights start gently chanting. Cast a spell on you, the kind that won't be broken when the clock hits midnight. Cast a special peepity-boppity-boo spell. I love you now and forever. Tojo Minato was standing in front of the church, his raven locks dancing in the wind. His expression was stern and sullen. Minato, that's me. I looked up at me with palpable worry in his eyes. I gently wrapped an arm around his shoulders. It's okay. Natsume won't hate you no matter what you gift him. Yeah, I guess you're right. Come this far. Take responsibility for my choice and see Natsume off with a smile. That's the most I can do for him. Yeah. It was no longer the Tojo Minato who tried to make up to Natsume for a sin he didn't commit. Standing before me now was a strong, beautiful person who looked ahead while biting down on his trembling lips. Let's go visit Natsume's grave. Okay. The public cemetery was in an open area some distance away from the church. The various graves were lined up in a clouded area sprinkled in green. We stopped in front of one. It was just like all the others, lacking any distinguishing features, and it belonged to Natsume Sorichiro. In other words, me. A strong wind was coming over us both. Even so, Tojo Minato stood before the grave, grasping both of his hands in a refined manner. What he chose to give Natsume was a flower. Flower? Are you surprised? Thought you were going to give him his phone. That's what you said you'd do. Yeah, but I changed my mind. I chose to keep his phone with me. Well, I was still conflicted about it, even while coming here. But if I got rid of it, the guilt I felt for Natsume would come back. And Mina would likely vanish too. That's why I'm not giving away the phone to anyone, not even to you. I need it so I can continue being myself. I see. Besides, I've always wanted to do this. To give Natsume a flower that would suit him. This idea has been in the back of my mind ever since I got that yellow bouquet. After saying that, Tojo Minato placed a bouquet of yellow guberas on Natsume's casket. It's not really like me to do this. I mean, flowers are such a cliched thing to offer, you know? Still, I think it's okay. Yeah, they look wonderful. This is a gift based on your own tastes, something you and you alone picked. The shape, the scent, the color, they all suit him perfectly. It's certainly a better fit for him than anything any other person could ever hope to choose. Come on, now you're just being overdramatic. That's how I genuinely feel, though. Sure, I'll be glad.
We looked at Natsume's grave for a good long while before finally walking off. Let's go then, Minato. Next time, I'll pick flowers that suit you. Oh, like you did for Natsume? Of course. Natsume and you are different people after all. Yeah, that's true. I had no idea what awaited us beyond the hill, beyond the end of this story. However, it's fine. I'm sure you'll draw upon a wonderful world. I believe in you. What are you even talking about? Come on, you're falling behind. Ah, wait up. Let's go then and find out what awaits us beyond that light. Are you sure? All right. Okay. Okay. So let's check to see what CGs were locked. For some reason, I think you missed one. Let's make this an especially luxurious day. We walked on the dark sidewalk, holding treasures in each hand. There were plain houses on the sides and cheap city lights above us. We felt like we were the only high-class people here, and we're all giddy about it. I wanted to flaunt. I wanted people to know just how wonderful we were. Good morning. Toji Minato got up from the sofa. Went to sleep on it the moment we were red and didn't much care that it made all his clothes all wrinkled. Where's the cake? In the fridge. Did you eat some already? I saved it. In the ashen room, there was only a red fruit waiting for us. Picked up a spoon and began eating the raspberry mousse cake. I love the way its taste just kind of exploded all over my mouth. It's almost morning. How long was I asleep? Not sure. The clock here never shows the right time. Still half asleep, Toji Minato walked over to the speakers. Morning's coming, might as well put on some bright music. It was a good idea. I picked out a CD and put it on. The Japanese said it used to be popular a few years back. Took out the champagne from its bag and looked at the bottle with a stern expression. This will be the second champagne I drink this month. You don't drink it much? Not really. Only about once a year, I'd say. I feel like an adult now. He removed the cork like he was opening a Christmas present and gently poured it in. Morning champagne. That should help us wake up. Yeah. We shared a chuckle. Putting our glasses together, we both took a sip. Cold air was coming from between the curtains. I opened the window, making the crisp winter air waft through the stale room. There we go. I knew something was missing. We looked out the city and took another sip. The morning blue illuminated our glasses. Its purple gradient seemed to melt into the fluid. It feels almost as if we're drinking winter itself. His voice was now a whisper, and I found myself captivated by his drowsy expression. The cassette tape. Do you always have it on you? Oh, yeah. What's on it? Just something I recorded with someone. The recording? Did you sing something? Yeah, it was a song that person created. We sang it together. Even now I can remember it like it happened yesterday. We had so much fun. I'd love to hear it myself. Well, the tape has been scratched. Sounded an embarrassing chuckle. Record something over it then. What? I mean, you can't listen to it anymore, right? So let's just record something over it. No, but the tape's stretched. You can listen to it again if you record something new. I see, but I looked right at him. He was smiling, but I could tell by his darting gaze he was desperately looking for a way to deflect my suggestion. He looked both pitiable and adorable. Nato. Let's overwrite the cassette tape. I made a point to use his name. He was struggling to muster up an answer, and then our eyes met. He was considering it. He had to choose between his memories and the present. However, I already knew what she'd choose. You better sing really well, then. I knew all too well that he'd end up picking me. It was almost like I could see into his mind. Nato. Did my magic reach you? Did my love grant you peace? On long restless nights, start gently chanting. I cast a spell on you, the kind that won't be broken when the clock hits midnight. Cast a special bibbidi-bobbidi-boo spell. Love you now and forever. Goodbye, Mamiya. Okay. He's so cute. So I'm officially shipping Minato and the Spectator after this route. Not gonna lie, Haruki and Minato would be a cute couple, but like, oof. We saved the more difficult to deal with for us for last. Thankfully, we're going in order. Full disclosure, we used to be homeless like years ago. So Morishika Haruki's story also hits really hard for us. Maybe they can be the three together? Oh, that would be so adorable. But, alas. But, Morishika Haruki and So Kato are going to be the ones that hurt the most for us. So we're going to go ahead and call this the end for the day. Tuesday night. Tuesday night. No. Monday night. So tonight, like, little under 24 hours from now, we'll come back and we will do... I'm sorry to hear that. I hope they don't end up being too bad for you. Yeah. We're mentally prepared for it. It's just our body also needs to rest. So combining getting some physical rest will allow us to, refocus and recharge to deal with the two extremes. The man who apathetically moves through his day and the man who cannot tell dream from reality. So, let's go ahead and see if anyone is available for a raid. Looks like my raid list is currently empty. It's pretty late here too, so it's a nice time to get rest. Fair. Alright. So since we're not raiding out, I'm gonna do something I haven't done in a while. Ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between, everyone exempt, and everyone floating violently between the extremes, or multiforms like myself, be safe, be well, and have a good night.